Hello, everyone. Vanguard here, and I'm going to get right into it. I read a lot of material on the idea that there is no self, that the self that we think we have is false, right? Um, there goes the I've also read a lot of material about forming a sense of identity and how that is necessary to inhabit this world and to get along in life. And I kind of agree with both. I do believe that in terms of coming of accomplishing goals and having a clear vision, a sense of self is required to be created. Like noticing the traits within that are prominent for you, and sort of compiling those into a safeguard of sorts against the outside world. But I also agree with the former because every day I see people who seem to have no sense of self. I believe they think they have a sense of self, but it's obvious that almost everything they do and say even is for the benefit of others. They create a version of themselves for the outside world, and they inhabit this self, and then they remove this self, and it's like a coat that they put on. And I guess you can say almost any sense of self is like that, but I believe some senses of, I believe some forms of self, some identities you create are more valid than others. And that's even part of why I started doing this like video series. I realized that I recently was beginning to sort of fall into this trap of caring too much about how I appeared to others. And I do believe that on some level you must care about how you appear to others in this world. That's part of living in a modern civilized society. There are certain behaviors that just aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Aren't very aren't they just aren't very mannerable, I guess. They aren't becoming of you. So when I realized I was doing this to the negative end of the spectrum, dropped all pretenses. I stopped attempting to appear so much for others. I stopped trying so hard to appear fashionable. I stopped obsessively pouring over my facial hair and the hair atop my head. I just decided I would just present myself. That's what I am. And I mean, to some degree, I still do normal, healthy things, you know, protecting myself, like preserving myself, I guess. Like combing my hair, things like that, washing my face, obvious stuff. I'm not saying that people should do what I did and just stop caring and just, wear whatever you want, and, you know, even if it has a stain on it, you just throw it on. Like you don't have to go to that extreme. I'm just a weirdo. But I believe, at least, or I feel that people should honestly and without fear inspect inspect themselves and try to find out what you do for the benefit of others. And stop and think. Stop and think. Does this do me any good? Does it make me any happy? If it doesn't, at least try to phase it out. Try, to see what life is like. See what life is like without that component of yourself, without that part of this unconscious identity you've created for yourself. Just see what it's like. See if you start to feel happier now that you don't care so much about this particular thing. But that's all I really had to mention. Really, it was just something that crossed my mind as I was at the gym. So I spoke earlier about how I was attempting to do a series exploring the people in this world. And I've scoped out potential people and I've spoken to people who are interested. But now I'm trying to expand my options. So I'm gonna put a number on it this time. I want to ask for five people who are interested in such a project and sharing some unique story or unique even philosophy or thought process that they have, just anything really. And I would just like to find out from this person and honestly honestly talk to them about what it is that's going on with them, what it is that they're thinking, what it is that they have to say. So if anyone's interested, reach out. Vanguard signing off again.